Hi guys, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing well. So guess what I did today? I went and bought a washing machine. Very much. Having chai latte right now. And trying not to freak out with the fact that we just bought a washing machine. I feel like it's not the actual price that makes me feel really anxious and not well actually I'm not that anxious right now. I'm calm, nothing is going off. My heartbeat is I feel like I want to check every single signals in my body for anxieties so that I can report accurately. So I'm not nervous. I'm not anxious. I just don't like dealing with unpredictability and having someone delivering something is always unpredictable because I feel like I always have to wait for them to arrive. It doesn't feel like I'm in control over the situation and I really don't like that. I mean, if I need something, I can go to the shop and get it and then come home and try to fix it. It's within my control. I have power over how things go. But like when you order something or get delivered something, it's always like you have to wait and you don't know sometimes if they wait or not. I feel like I showed my overbearingness to the sales assistant. It's like when I was asking him, oh, do they know what they need to do, which is like take the washing machine away, put it back, and put the new one in, and they just looked at me as if like I was a dumb person, like that's what they do every day. Like of course they do, but the thing is, in my experience, most of the times what being told at the counter is not necessarily what's being received at the delivery people. So there's usually a miscommunication in between. So that's why I was asking to be sure. But yeah. But I bought it, so I just have to wait for tomorrow. I think if they come, hopefully, and then we will be able to get a new washing machine. Hopefully, in tomorrow's vlog. Actually, I want to talk about something else today. I want to talk about Temple Garden, but I'll talk about it at home when I get home. So I'm back at home. This is my third attempt in trying to record myself on a video. This is my third attempt in telling you on the camera that that's a washing machine. It took me a very long time and energy to move it from the laundry room, which is quite small, and I'm not sure how is that guy tomorrow going to bring it inside into the laundry room by himself, but I'm sure he will be fine because we've done this before with the dryer before and it's all fine. The dryer usually is the same size of the washing machine, and I didn't even take the dryer off myself because I'm unable to because it was too heavy and it's hanging upside down on the wall near the ceiling part of the laundry room. So and the guy who did that last time was so big and massive and like twice the size of me. So if that dryer could be hanging on that wall right now, I'm sure the washing machine could get in there without any hitch whatsoever. I'm just like relying on experience, and if the guy say this is too small, no, mate, no, fuck no. We did it once, we can do it again. Oh god. Anyway, I want to talk about Temple Garden. Yesterday I watched a movie about Temple Garden, which is an autistic female. She's in her 70s now, and she's also a professor, have master degrees in science in cattle. Her expertise is in cattle, and basically in trying to humanize how cattle is being slaughtered without causing them to panic or increasing their cortisol level. therefore making themselves calmly walk into the slaughter end of their life. um, Using her very unique ability as an autistic person. The movie is concentrating on based on her period, based on her life with the period of uh, when she was studying her first education period, which is the the when she started getting to know cattle and also trying to go into university and seeing the difficulty that she had to deal with, and then going into workforce and seeing the difficulty that she had to work with. And also most of the things that I relate to are the sensory problems that she has, which was this anxiety every time something doesn't really go according to her vision of how things supposed to go, is this meltdown. And she basically built herself a hawk machine, um, because she saw on the cattle where you if you squeezed her back, if you put like pressure on her back using an animate object, basically like a hug. So it's like two woods trying to hug her, but she wouldn't be able to get a hug from another human being because it's sensory overload. And she built that for herself, and it calmed herself, and it made her more social and be able to talk. And it reminded me so much of my childhood where I didn't talk much. I just sleep if I could, and I really had difficulty with the heat. I grew up in a very tropical, near the belt, near the equator belt, so it was hot all the time, humid all the time. And even though we have air conditioning at night, we still have to deal with heat everywhere else, like at school and just during the day. It's basically, we just use most of the time the air conditioning at night. But the heat really got me. It's not until I came to Australia in the middle of bloody winter that I realized that, oh, okay, this is sensory overload when you have this thing that is overwhelming your senses, and you are unable to think, you are unable to do anything else, you're unable to socialize. Because I remember when I was a kid, mother was used to she tried once to pry me to talk. The only time she did could try to talk to me was when she was asking about my special interest, which was manga or comic book, Japanese comic book back then. And that was the only time I would talk because it would got me excited. But I could see on her face that she wasn't excited. She was just asking that to pretend to be interested, and which was really sad for me. And yeah, one of the other thing was from with the Temple Garden movie is that she was able to make a career out of her special interest, which was cattle and human and animals. And she also speaks about autism and autistic life and autistic brain, on how she's a visual thinker, etc. But from the movie, which I really kind of feel jealous of, is the fact that she had a very supportive and intelligent mother, never give up on her and always challenge her, at the same time treat her equally to other kids, but in terms of respect, and not in terms of trying to make her like other kids, but accept her that this is who she is, but is not going to make them as a mother make the she as a mother, she's not enabling her kid to stay infantile. And I found that to be quite quite envious. I feel I wish I had that support as a kid, and I wish I had that belief. I wish I had that, you know, I wish I just had that. I feel like I'm not blaming people. I'm not trying to blame my family. I think like they did the best that they could with what they have, and I think I turned out pretty great, just based on what they did. But I felt really jealous of Temple because one thing that she said is like, I don't want to die with my thoughts still inside of me. And this is a very similar saying than I read this book by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I think it's in one of the Tao way of living, maybe back in 2004, no, 2005, 2007, maybe. Publication date, like Dr. Wayne Dyer. You can search it on Google. Dr. Wayne Dyer, Tao way of living. There is a saying in that book particularly, that says, I don't want to die with, the song is still in me. I think he borrowed another author's or another person saying as well, but I remember that, like, but I couldn't really relate when they say the song in, like, I don't want to die with the song still in me. I can get what they're trying to say. I understand, like, oh yeah, you don't want to die without expressing yourself, I guess, without uh without, see, I can't even articulate it particularly well. I kind of can get the gist of it, but I don't really understand it fully. But I think it's because it wasn't said according to the way my brain thinks, which it was what Temple Garden was saying. I don't want to die with my thoughts still in me, and that hit me in the right place. And that is exactly, I know exactly what she meant by that. And I guess it's kind of verified with the fact that, oh, even though I am not officially diagnosed as autistic by another person, by this, I don't know, like official body of psychologists and neurologists, etc., like that, um because I researched it in Sydney, it could cost up to $3,000, approximately, more or less, to get an official diagnosis, and the waiting list is so long, and you have to make an appointment, and it's just very difficult, and there's a lot of steps you need to do as an adult to get an official diagnosis. So that's also a barrier to do that. But I felt that when she said, I don't want to I don't want to have my thoughts to die with me. And I don't know how to explain it to neurotypical people, but I guess, like, to explain it's like, you don't want to die with the song is still in you. I felt like that's a useless explanation. Um, I realized, like, I want to contribute something. I know I can do something, but at the same time, I'm having extreme difficulty maintaining jobs. I can't get up in the morning and go into a job. It will send me to sensory overdrive, and my adrenaline will hit really strongly as well, and can't be in constant I can't be in a constant state of being around other people and trying to figure out what other people want out of me. I can't be working with people and also have deadlines, and people changing their expectations, and people barging in and disrupting my flow, and it's as if that I don't have any control over my space, my time, my energy. And that's how it feels when when I work in with other people, or when I'm working for other people. I unable to see myself working for something, for someone, for 10 years. And I felt like I felt really crippled. I felt like I want to contribute something. I want to contribute my thoughts and my skills and my expertise. But because I don't know what they are yet, and I need to figure out what they are. And I felt like, oh, is it too late at 37 to figure it out? And I guess, like, this is when I really wish that, rather than being judged when I was younger of what I want to do. And it was as confusing as it was, of like of where I want to study and what I want to do. I wish they would just say, okay, you do that, you keep doing that, and if you stop doing it, I'm gonna, push you a bit further to see whether you can complete the things that you set yourself to do, rather than judging it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm making excuses for people. It's like, if someone is paying your school fees, like your family is paying your school fees, then they probably have a say in what you do with their money. The thing that I take out from the Temple Garden movie is basically I want to contribute something to the world. I don't want my thoughts to die with me, and at the same time I also want it to be used in such a way that there are benefits that can be taken out of it. I want my work, I want my magna carta. Is that the word? Like when you use for magnum opus, that's the word, where you have your masterpiece of work um, being introduced into the world. I know I'm rambling, and I know this is such a huge non-life thing and very autistic oriented. So I guess now what I'm trying to say is I wanted to figure out how I can contribute to the world, but at the same time nurture my own autistic self and like work around that. Like I don't want to feel constantly overwhelmed with sensory inputs. Like at home now, even at home, like you can see, like I'm covering the window so that it's not too bright inside, and I'm using like lamp where it has a lot of shades. The lamps are everywhere. There are lights a lot in my place, so there are lights there. But I don't use these lights though, like the ceiling lights, like that light. I don't use that. I don't use that as well. So I don't use any of the light that comes from above directly and permeates the whole room. I don't do that. I segment the light. Um, because when it's coming from above, it overwhelms my senses. And it's the same with the bathroom light as well. I use LED lights, so it's quite dim and it separates the lights into two areas. And I can handle the kitchen light, I can handle the laundry light because it's temporary. I go in there and I don't sit there for hours and hours at a time unless I'm cooking something that requires time and effort, which probably takes me about 20 minutes mostly. But those 20 minutes I'm doing something physically, so there is a movement there that requires that light to be there. But if I'm sitting and I'm not moving too much, I can't have too much light going into my eyes. It just makes me feel stressed out. The thing that really stressed me out, especially as I got older, when I'm at home, is also loud noises. Like the train really bothers me. And before COVID hit last year, uh, I had a lot of airplanes coming in and going because I live quite near the airports. So that constant airplane vibration noise was really driving me insane. Um, so I was quite happy actually when COVID basically suspended all flights, because I think there was a period between 1 or 2 months where I sleep like a freaking baby because it was so quiet. So, and you can't work in an office where it's so noisy all the time. There's always people talking, there's always people doing their thing, and you also have to deal with the social aspect of working there as well. Funnily enough, I was actually pretty good with retail because first of all, I grew up in a retail environment, like a small shop, like mom and pops. The thing with retail, I think like is it was okay for me because I know the script. When I don't know the script to something is when I freaked out. Like I remember was trying to call clients based on this list, and I basically went up to my manager and asked for a script, like what should I say word by word when I call these people. And until I had that script on in my hand, I was a total mess. So yeah, I know this is a very long rambles, but this is a very hard month, choosing to explore my autistic self and going deep into this. And also just spent so much money on washing machine. And I read the reviews on the washing machine I just bought, and the reviews is not good. I did not go through the scenario in my head properly. So the sales agent basically made me buy, like, no, the directing me to buy this particular one that I didn't want to buy, that I didn't realize until a bit too late that it was the one that I didn't want to buy because the review was bad. I have to live with my decision. So let's see whether the machine is good enough or not tomorrow or whenever they deliver it. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It has been a very stressful day. And I hope tomorrow that will end the whole washing machine debacle. Hopefully, the washing machine is good and it works perfectly and there is no dramas, because I think the one that I'm really concerned about buying a washing machine is not necessarily the price, but I'm afraid that it would have a defect, and if it has a defect, then it would go into a long drama type of situation where you basically have to unhook it, and then I have to pull it out again basically, and then I have to get a new one. That means I have to it's just like the whole drama in my head is just so much. All I want to do is get a new one, put it in, and then it works perfectly and I just can do my laundries, and that's it. That's the end of this drama. And anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. If you listen up to this far, I'm trying to figure out things in my head, and you guys are coming with me. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.